Welcome everybody to our special session, The Open Metaverse, a worthy goal or a pipe dream. We have an illustrious panel here with us, with some of the best experts and analysts about the metaverse. So
I just put on a lecture I was watching, or I guess this is panel conversations regarding what the open metaverse is versus the closed. Since a lot of times we talk about immersive spaces, and then when we go from immersive spaces, we go into the metaverse. And then the next phase is that open metaverse, right?
Right.
So just trying to learn more about the divisions of each, stage of projects that we're doing.
Right. Sorry, I had to leave early on Friday. I had a meeting with Eduardo.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, no. We didn't have anything of group structure, that kind of thing. We were just going over my exam. I passed. Yay!
Oh, you took it again? So I was there when you
I took it again. And they didn't even tell me what I missed. That's the bad feedback, is I just did it again. And then I was like, wait, which ones were right? Which ones were wrong?
Right.
I couldn't figure it out. But so now I get my NF. I'll be part of the Every Realm Academy alumni now, and hopefully that will bring with it community. And I was hoping some kind of clout, like graduating from Harvard, right? You're the most well-known institution teaching that topic.
Right.
If you get something from there, I'll give you some clout. I don't know how to play this game, but I'm just trying to play it.
Yeah, man. A lot of us in the same boat. All of us are in the same boat, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some good work going on, some good theories, some good ideas. There just aren't a lot of projects, though, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm trying to do, is just make projects, just get people on campus and get doing things, because it doesn't take a lot. Like, I mean, I'm college focused, right? So my way is just get everybody in a room.
Right.
And then they just start collaborating together. People know their roles in the world, meaning they know what they're comfortable doing. They know their expertise and knowledge, and they're willing to jump into those roles if you give them space and allow them to. So I think that's what we got to do, is we just got to start bringing people on campus and holding space and time for them. At least that's my idea. What do you think in terms of getting more activities?
I'm just trying to, in terms of getting the activities done, just figure out, once we get people into the campus, which we're doing, you see a number of names come through every week. Just got to figure out what it is that people do a lot more efficiently, because we see people just joining in, but we have no idea what their passions are and where their gifts lie. So we can figure out a way to immediately identify what it is that they can do, what they're comfortable with. We'll have an idea what we can build those activities around. So that's just one of the ways that I can think of. Other than just holding activity, just do something.
The co-living community I just moved into is kind of in the same situation we are, right? So instead of building a virtual space, they're a physical space, and then They fill it with all these people, and then they're, what do you do? Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that they always go to, the easy way, is open bar, right? Free open bar, bring all the people in. But then what kind of quality of experience do you get if that's it? You know what I mean? But I was talking at the dinner with a lot of people, and I think biggest barrier is communication. They're waiting for something to happen, and they're like, the inconsistent or inaccurate information that gets around a community is really disturbing, right? Because people are like, wait, you heard what? Or why haven't nobody's told us this? We don't know this. Those were main pain points in just getting started. So we haven't had anything here except for an open bar. So it's like, how do you get started? Where do you go? Where do you communicate? All those kind of stuff. So I think that's what we're working out, right? With the internet and the community, the Mighty Networks, with the LinkedIn, with.
And it's going.
I mean,
it's going to take some time. To be honest with you. How long we been at this space? Maybe what? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? A month? Has it been a month yet?
Dude, I don't even know. No, it's at least been a month because I moved in here in February, and it's been 1 month since I've been living here. And you and I did this at least a month before, but we were on Twitter. We weren't on this, Right. So this less than a month. So, I mean, I'm not worried about time per se, because we're also in the midst of a war, right? Which I kind of forget about because I'm so immersed in what, my focus is every day. But the rest of the world, and even, people right next to us, are very consumed with what's going to happen as a world. And it's hard for them to build a future. Yeah, I was talking to some friends of mine that I didn't even realize that people were freaking out about the world. Look, I guess that's how isolated I've been away from it.
Look, so everything that we've been talking about, at least what I've been mentioning about the collapse of our systems, all right, I'm seeing it right now. So if you look at the live that I did last week, I was talking about, and we're streaming now right now too.
That's good. Yeah, always should be out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was talking about how we're seeing the collapse of all of our systems before our very eyes, and I happened to look up in the live stream about I was looking up something, and I happened to come across how crypto is playing a very important role in Ukraine right now with donations. So what we're seeing right now, a lot of people are freaking out because they don't know. They're not forward thinking like we are. They're not seeing what the transition is. They have no idea what we're transitioning to. All right. So of course we're transitioning to crypto. All right. We're transitioning into electric efficient products and services. I don't know where you are. Well, I don't know what the gas prices are where you are.
Like it was 380 something this past week. I don't know what they are today, if they've gone up, but about 380. Why is that more than normal? I mean, I used to fill up my motorcycle for 99 cents a gallon in Texas, so I don't know.
Well, I just saw gas $3.99 today.
California gas prices.
What you're about to, so you've been seeing a lot of electric cars on commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they're going to saturate the market with the need for electric cars?
By making gas so
they're gonna boost the gas prices up, and then you're gonna start seeing the influx of gas automobiles on the road. So you're seeing these transition of these systems occur. This war is just another transference of our financial system. At some point in time, at some point in time, very slowly, you're going to start seeing crypto, all right, come to the forefront in terms of our main currency. You're going to see it. It's happening right now. You're seeing it.
Do you think that things pop, go away? So again, I got into crypto in 2018. It popped a little bit. I didn't get out. I didn't take my profits, right? And it dropped again. And I was like, well, I missed the boat, but I stayed in it. And then it came back again, and I just bought like nobody's business. And then it dropped. And now it's back up. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is there one time where it pops for like the final time and it's adopted? Is that like just the curve of adoption?
Just think about all these pops as beta testing. All right. All they're doing is testing to see what the market, the adoption of the market, how the adoption of the market is going to be like. All right, and I don't know, but in some shape, form, or fashion, all right, this fiat dollar that we have, all right, is going to be worthless at some point in time. All right, and then at some point in time, in the very near future, All right, people are going to jump straight to crypto overnight.
Like they did in El Salvador, right? Was it El Salvador? Why can't I remember the name of the country?
I'm not sure.
Nicaragua. I don't remember.
I'm not sure. But you're going to see overnight. All right, this crash is fiat. People are going to go crazy, except for me and you. All right, we're going to go straight into crypto. All right, and still maintain our same level of lifestyle, if not better. If not better than what we are right now. But if you don't know, you don't know.
That is true. That is true. And see, my students are international. They're from the Middle East and Africa, and we talk about the metaverse, but they're just kind of understanding it's coming. You know what I mean? Like they're interested in doing something back home with it, but they don't know what yet. But they can feel it too. They're like, yeah, this is going to be good for, like, again, for their country, because they're here learning, and then they're going to go back, right?
Yeah. So the best thing,
but internationally,
best thing to do is just create their wallet. So when that mass adoption, that transference of currency happens, at least they can be ready. At least to have a wallet ready to go.
Ready to receive.
Yeah,
ready to receive. So that's what we're doing at our DAO meeting. The reason why I set that up, because again, it was just kind of the energy. We've been talking about it forever. Let's just do it, right? So the alumni from every realm. We have the Desert Blockchain, the real techie dudes, and then we have our community, educators in Web 3.0. I think if we get enough people together from those groups, that is at least anywhere interested to make something. I know that there's things that we're not going to be able to be perfect at, but just do it, right? Like make the ugly base kind of thing.
Right.
So hopefully people will become interested in that, because the DAO is the foundation governance of the metaverse, as I understand it.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing where we have to become pretty proficient in, that is the DAO, right? Because that's going to be your system for how the metaverse gets down. All right, so that's pretty much going to be our political system within the metaverse. All right, so we're going to have to figure that out. I mean, and we're doing it now.
Oh, hey, Vincent's here. Sorry, I just looked up at my screen.
Oh yeah.
No worries.
Hey, Vincent.
No worries at all. Hey, how's it going, friends?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, Vincent, welcome. Well, we're just doing what we're meant to do in this space, gathering, talking. Aaron and I just started talking about, I put up on the screen up there,
a
panel talk about the open metaverse, because there was just the scaling we were going through from immersive spaces, metaverses, to ultimately open metaverse, like, centralized metaverses to open metaverses. So just started talking about that, and then we got on to discussing how we're transitioning into these spaces and the systems and the systems and everything. Are you seeing right now a major transition, or are you just hearing about this new, metaverse, DeFi, NFTs, all of that stuff? Where do you see this happening in the real world?
I'm sort of in that latter conversation. More people I interact with are, when I talk about this, they'll say that they've heard something. I have a few friends that are trying their hand in the crypto side of things. As far as explaining anything beyond, let me put it this way: explaining there's like a Web 2.0 and Web 3, and what its kind of purpose and overall vision is. And most people are lost. So I'm not seeing it on my end, but I know that it is there. I just probably don't connect with quite the right people on the face-to-face level.
Can I ask what brought you in at the very beginning? What enticed you, or what piqued your curiosity?
It's a great question. I love when someone has a conversation that I can be part of, where I stand to learn a lot. And as I was explaining to a colleague yesterday, I love being a novice at something. And so when I had gotten a message from Rich Schultz about, hey, listen, there's this golden thing, and think you might find it interesting. And so it was like one thing leading to another. And honestly, it's for me, it's an opportunity to see people that are interested in and experts in areas that I either know little about, nothing about, or could contribute wholesomely too. And
Yeah.
the fact that it's at the beginning, I was telling Aaron this the other night, like the fact that it's the introductory throes of something. I mean, we've never had an opportunity. I mean, I have, and I'm 37, I'll be 38 next week. Like, I've never had the opportunity to be so in the beginning of something, and it's kind of neat. And so that's kind of what keeps me coming back and reading more and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Do you read and study at leisure? Do you have a structure? I mean, there is so much to absorb in these spaces.
You're in reference to this. No, I don't. Structure. It's really it right now. I find what is it? It's like doggy paddling at the moment. What I need to know, I'll go and look up. But for example, with this, there's some like remembering the acronyms is a thing, right? And then knowing what they mean. So like that's kind of like level one, but then understanding certain things, how they work. And I'll still read the definition, various definitions, excuse me, of the metaverse and various definitions of or various write-ups on what people's vision for it is, just so that I have that holistic picture. College was great, but that was 20 years ago. And so I learned all that stuff, and it's in my mind. And so I read as I need. And I have, I think Russ had posted like this big dissertation or paper thing that I printed out actually, because I still, ironically, as much as this is digital, I love analog. And so I have that on my desk, and then I sit here with you all. So that's kind of my structure, if you will.
Oh, that's awesome. No, good to know. And I love the analogy about the doggy paddle, because that is exactly what we're all doing. We were just, whether we jumped willingly into the pool or we were pushed somehow, we're all here and we're just like, all right, let's just stay afloat. And then sooner or later we'll learn all the fancy swimming, right?
So Vincent,
right.
Me and Amlin were talking about projects because we're getting people onto the platform. We're doing a fairly decent job of that. But we're starting to get into the conversation of projects. How can we create action? And to be honest with you, that's one of the ways I came up with the pilot, is just to create some action, not only for not only for Rhodes Academy, but also for the platform. It needs action. It needs some work. People need to see the work that's going on the campus.
Energy.
So we were talking about how can we create action. I know you and I we talked about how can we create some buzz around music. But as you have more time to explore and to think and to travel around the campus, what if have you had any more ideas or epiphanies about how we can create more action?
Yeah, I mean, in a manner of speaking, I think it's funny because your question coincides with something that I've decided would be my career shift if it could be, and I don't know that I'm savvy enough in any area to do it, but I feel like in the education space, we need to get the people that are here to kind of become evangelists for it, right? And so the primary person I use as an example, are either of you familiar with Guy Kawasaki?
Yes, okay. Very much so.
Yeah, so like Guy is one of those people who, like, first off, everybody loves him, right? But going from Apple to Canva to all the different things he's involved with, like he's that person that will go and say, listen, here's why, and rah rah rah. And I feel like we all have to kind of take on that role. So whoever's here has to kind of spread via the gospel of of Onyx, gospel of the metaverse, because I think that like anything else, there's no I don't think there's a buy-in anywhere without it being, like anything else. I could try to sell you on it, but you as a customer telling another customer is the more powerful way. And I think it's about, that evangelist approach. And I'm approaching it from, I'm a classroom teacher and I've taught at university for, a decade or so, but, me going in and talking about it on that level with colleagues, I think is where it's going to happen. Likewise, to make a long answer longer, we have, we all belong to other organizations. And my assumption, right, in talking with both of you is that we talk about our interest in this and our workings in those organizations to try to get one more person to one more person. So that's the best I can come up with at this point.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a needed structure as far as, because I'll just, from my ties to communities, if I go and we do something and I've had an experience that has allowed me to meet a type of person or an individual or a group that I was excited about what they were excited about, or I could even see the potential of creating something together, like, oh, we're going to make something and it'll be on the market, an actual tangible goal with results. Those keep me coming back. I mean, I don't think that I've really gone to much places where we just hang out. You know what I mean? We've always had, like, I call it organized fun. So I'm wondering if we need to have more opportunities for organized fun, or just encourage those that are on campus to organize their own fun. For instance, I actually had a dream about this the other day, you guys. But you know how we have those little circles across campus where it's silent in the circle, but you can make, right outside there's noise and you can have those private conversations.
Sure.
With the music, you guys, having a music walk where you could just walk from one circle to another and be exposed to another genre, another artist, another instrument, another thing, that would be fabulous. And then all it is those little circles strategically set up, and you walk through them and experience, whenever you're done with one music, you go on to the another, and you of course can have conversations with the artist and with the people around you. But stuff like that is what I, in my mind, see all the time, is organized fun, I guess. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think ideas like that will work. So, any and all things, Hamlin. I think we're certainly in a position where we can throw anything at the wall and see what sticks, right?
Love that. Yes.
Yeah, we can throw anything at the wall and see what sticks. Doesn't matter how big or small. I think everything needs to be explored as far as how do we attract more attention and action on the campus. So yeah, that's a good idea. It's simple. It doesn't take a lot, but it's something people probably will be interested in. A scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Something as simple as that. What is there, like a when's St. Patty's Day? When's that?
March 17th.
March
Yeah.
17th?
Happens to be my birthday.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, so we could do something for St. Patrick's Day.
Let's celebrate Vincent's party and Vincent's birthday on campus.
Yeah, we could do that.
Everybody's Irish on my birthday. Yeah.
So
I'm sorry I got kicked out of the campus as you were finishing, but I like the idea of a walk, and I think that also, it's, I like the activities, and also, within the scavenger hunt type thing, or even if it's it could be what would we call it? We run a technology expo. We used to call it the Sandbox, right? And I know Sandbox is a metaverse area as well. But you set up, within one of the spaces, go touch everything, go try everything, go host something, like something to make people not just see it, but they, like anything else, you have to do it to kind of believe in it, and that might be a way to get people to say, hey, this is actually pretty neat.
Yeah. So is that in Brightspace Sandbox?
Say again?
Is that in Brightspace, the sandbox?
That now you're getting into questions that I don't have answers to.
Oh, no, so Brightspace is just another learning management system, and it has a sandbox to it.
Oh no! So the sandbox concept, I think, so two different things. I think the sandbox as a concept is a little bit more universal. I know Sandbox is a game, a Web3 game.
Oh,
blockchain. Gotcha. Yeah. So because I was investigating again, the stuff that Ross posts, I do go and look up because I don't know anything about what he posts, and so I found Sandbox. Yeah.
Okay. And Sandbox isn't launched yet. That's in beta. It's not even live, and look how busy it is. It's getting.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it hasn't gone live yet. It's very commercial though. Really consumer focused, but yeah. That's so basically having this space. Like we just found a new universe, right? Or actually, to be fair, CK built it.
Right.
He built this planet of Onyx, and now we've all landed here, and it's a matter of going, all right, what do we do? We don't have to worry about survival, so we're not going to be spending all of our time trying to build buildings and get food.
Right.
So it's more about how do we connect, how do we entertain. Learning to me is the biggest entertainment in the world. I love it, learning, but what about with the transitionings happening out in the outside world that we were talking about? I wonder how we could lend some help to that transition. Like even if we hosted a come learn the lingo game and I don't know, I'm sure somebody's creative enough they could put a Jeopardy kind of game or something. I've seen those in the classrooms before.
Yeah.
Something like that, where it's just like, hey, I know that things are changing right now. You might feel a little confused, a little lost, but come together and we can give you a glimpse of some kind of clarity.
Yeah.
Or understanding.
I think that'd be a good idea because people are freaking out. So Vincent, me and Amlin were talking about before you came. Well, I made the comment that what we're seeing right now is basically a collapse of our systems that are occurring right before our eyes. And the war, I just so happened to talk about the collapsing of our systems in last week's live stream. And I was looking up something while I was live streaming, and I happened to see how crypto is playing a large role in the war in Ukraine as far as donations and things like that. So I just happened to just to go on Google while we was live streaming, and there it was. So what we're seeing right now is a transition from one system to the next. We was also talking about the gas prices now. So where I am, I just saw gas prices for $3.99. That's the highest it's ever been in this area since I've been here. And I was asking Amlin, how do you think they're going to get people to transition from gas mobiles to electric? And to me, the most obvious answer is they're going to keep rising the gas prices. They're going to almost force people's transitioning from gas to electric in the very near future. So that's just two of the transitions that I named that I see that's going on. Are you seeing anything, or have you been paying attention, or have you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think that things, and I apologize. I may have to go shortly. But I want to make a on. So I think there are two things. One, it's like anything else. If you want to shift people, it's not just buy-in, but it's also, there has to be a phase out of some kind.
Right.
And so with the automobile industry, I think there's going to be a more concerted effort over the next 2 decades, right, to phase out more and more, or rather phase in. It doesn't have to be phase out. If you phase in, it's available. People are willing to make the change versus when it was just the Prius. That wasn't what everybody was interested in. But now our hybrid and electric pickup trucks. Well, that's more interesting. So it's either a phase in of things that create access or a phase out that deplete access, I think, is one thing. The other is, I think that we're on a weird precipice, because for some things, I think there's so much we've flooded in the past 10 years, particularly in education, right? The market with the ed tech moniker, and we're all knee deep in it. But as the systems flex, because I don't know that any are completely broken, but I think as they flex, there's going to be a need to allow people to shift, right? And I think part of it is, in like this space, it's going to be creating those events, for example, and using Roblox as the example I think I mentioned, where live events happen in one place. That live event only happens here. That live event only happened in Roblox. And so, even if it's a guest speaker, you may get 1 or 2 more people to come see that guest speaker, akin to having, oh my gosh, I forget Linus's last name, but Linus, the creator of Linux, like to have people get into Linux, that are kind of skeptical. You could have had Linus in this space come in and talk about it, and you'd get people, flooding the area. So I think something to that effect, where it's people are curious enough about our event to get on campus, because no one's going to download something just to do that. Or I shouldn't say no one, that's very negative. But I think that you have to get people to want it based on that ascribed need. Listen, you need this, and here's where you can get it. And I'll always reference the same people. I always reference Steve Jobs in that capacity. But that's all I'm seeing at the moment. But I'm going to put my goggles on to keep a better eye out for that.
Right. You're not saying scare people into transition, are you?
No, not scare them, but to you have to make it so that it's attractive, right?
Attractive.
And like I said, the ed tech world, like people are actually at, and I see this as a technology coach, like people are, there's like one more thing. And so we put out a list of like 20 different resources that we could budget for the year. And it's always the same 3 that pop up, right? And so you're like, well, there's only so many things. And this creates that kind of that conundrum. It's one more thing, but it's the next thing. But you want people to be on board with the next thing. And so how do we show people that the next thing, you could do it now, and it's pretty seamless. And for the generation of, again, as being what am I called, a geriatric millennial, but and the next generation, this is appealing, this world. Kids are growing up in this world, this gaming world, and so on and so forth. So I think that there's a way to, you get some of the people that are at and above the millennial ridge, right? The Gen Xers, and then it's really going to be about getting everybody else here and below, I think. Largely you'll have participants from all, but I do think that that Web3 going to be a little bit of a there's going to be an ageist component to it, and not exclusively, but I think that's something we will have to contend with over time.
That is something that with all technology we've had to deal with each generation too.
Right.
Is how do we keep people involved that don't have access because of tech kind of barrier?
Yeah.
Here in Arizona with the education, they're doing more of those vouchers to allow homeschoolers to go into digital resources to learn now, and the state pays for it. So instead of going to a charter school that just popped up in your neighborhood, right? We have a lot of equine like horse schools out here, those kind of things. They're like saying, okay, now anywhere in the planet that you have digital resources you could use. And of course, they're trying to figure out regulations for that. Like, what is appropriate? Who decides? The state, the parents, the individual. Those kind of conversations are really going to take place a lot more for us to decide, are we going to use these spaces for education, or are they just going to be, my Saturday fun, or for those that really want to get ahead and not just, receive what the government gives them, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point, and I'm going to have to go, but I'm going to leave you with two things.
Yeah.
One, I'm not sure where. I assume that you're in somewhere in Maricopa County. That's just my assumption.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so a lot of my family lives out there. That's why I mentioned that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so my other thing was that the thing that interested me about talking to Aaron with the pilot and then any type of content is that you can actually probably get more creators than a sustainable user base, because the content you create is your content. And I think that's something that is such a clutch, to use that term, thing at this period of time in 2022, where there's so many ways to create, but everything is someone else monetizing what you're creating. And whether you're using Amazon Web Services or using a publisher, they say it's free, but this, but that. I think that's an interesting space. And so I look forward to seeing, like you said, do we use it for education? Do we use it for this? Well, for education, I mean, there are limitless possibilities, because what we create, you get to keep it. And I think that's very empowering. But folks, I do have to run. I apologize. I have a screaming toddler who is giving my wife a run for her money.
Thanks for popping by. That's what we do. Just show up, Vincent. Keep showing up when you can, and hopefully the community will continue to grow. That's what we do, right? So we appreciate your presence and your insight too.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be among some great-minded individuals.
I'll be in touch, Vincent, this week.
All right, Aaron. Yeah, I look forward to it.
All right, take care.
All right, take care. Bye.
Right.
Yeah, so the workshop that we're developing, Jay is leading, right? It's his creation of what he does in coaching, but he's making a workshop and then bringing the students in and letting them participate that way versus a Zoom call, I think will be really fun. I'm looking forward to my students trying it, because though some of them are very much in the metaverse, some of them have never been in an immersive experience other than Canvas and Zoom, and I don't think those are immersive at all.
Yeah, I think people are zoomed out, to be honest with you. I mean, they only do it because it's only there's only a few ways to communicate, online. So people. If more people knew that this type of platforms exist, I think they would be more inclined to do this. Hey, Titi Lope.
Hey. Good morning, or afternoon.
Hi, sorry I came late.
Oh no,
you're good. You're
good.
Be
here.
Yeah, good to have you guys.
Good.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
So, Aaron, you were saying?
Yeah, I think people are zoomed out. I think if more people knew that this platform exists, they would definitely be inclined to to do this type of communication versus Zoom.
Yeah.
But this is why we're here, right? This is exactly why we're here. All right, to create that awareness that the platform is here. You can do oodles and oodles of different type things on campus. So, yeah, we're growing.
It's definitely that bridge building, right? We're building a bridge, and sometimes, the first crossover is the scariest, and the more times you go over and you keep stabilizing the bridge, keep adding to it, put in the aesthetics, but it gets better as more and more people continuously use it. So, yeah, I'm excited. Hey, Tita Lope, how are you today anyway? How are you doing today? It's Sunday.
You know what I wish I could find out? What I wish we had information to? How do people come to the platform? Where do they hear about Onyx, and like how do they know to come here?
Well, I know in my social media engagements, I'm always pushing it. So even if I have a conversation with the group, I'm like, hey, you sound like somebody that would be awesome for this community. They're people just like you. Like if I, come across an amazing educator or somebody that's just sharing the philosophy, like with the blockchain guys, just talking about them, they meet in a warehouse for hackathons. And I'm like, why do you drive all the way over to the West Side when you can, stay at home in your PJs and do it here? Kind of like that, just talking about anywhere I can get people in. But I think mostly social media and all of our groups that's why we only have 150. I say only, that is a lot when you think about just starting, but we haven't opened it up to a huge association or something like that yet. Like if we could get a conference or somebody that actually does a lot of events in education to use the campus, that would bring a lot of people on too.
Yeah.
Now, Tita Lope, you've been with Virbela for quite some time. How have you noticed the campus being used with other entities and around with your experience?
Well, for Virbela campus, quite a number of entities use Virbela, and I think it's majorly because they have a sales team and they put a lot into sales. So they get to pitch to companies, to individuals, to educators and the likes, and then they come to use their campus for events. So yes, a lot of people use Virbela campus. I mean, they have events on the campus, at least 2 events on a daily basis.
Tell us what kind of events.
Okay, yeah, they have, some people come, what do you call them, HRs. They come to recruit on Virbela. So they tell people, okay, so come as your avatar, let's have our interview, let's talk about openings that we have in our companies. Not about wave makers. Wave makers actually do their interviews and recruitment on the Virbela campus. I remember last year also, one of the largest tech events, Afrotech event, with over 1,000 attendants, was held on the Virbela campus. Yes. People from all over Africa, the United States, different parts of the world were in that event, and it lasted for 7 days. So we had that event. We have people from Russia, from Spain, from different parts of the world come to host events, on campus. Yeah.
And this was a tech event?
Could you say that again, Heron?
This was a tech event? This was in tech?
Yeah, it was a tech event, yes. Not just, we have environmental events, we have realtors, people that do real estate, come to host events. I know about Expo Reality, they host their events on Virbela campus as well. A lot of different people host events on campus. Talk about climate change, talk about different things, talk about educators. Every kind of person you can think of host events on campus.
I love that idea of a job fair, right? Like if we're hiring for the virtual space, why do you need to go in a suit and tie and a physical? You just come in and discuss and share things over video or whatever you need to do there.
Exactly.
My wife is in HR. I've tried to pitch the campus to her, but she's so chicken. Like she's in. So our age group is in that swing type. So we grew up on the internet, but we're also old enough to get set in our way about technology. So a lot of our peers in our age group they scared to make the transition. They feel like it's not needed. They don't get it. So
I think it's because they are probably not well versed. If we can actually pitch it to them and make them see reasons, I believe everybody I've talked to, for instance, about Onyx University, they like the idea, they want to be a part of it, and all of that. So I think if we can make them see reasons why they should, they would.
But how though? That's the magic question. How do we do that?
We'll make them see the benefits. We'll make them see that, of course, it's a transition, so it's going to be a bit difficult. Right. But then we'll make them see that that's going to be the future of recruiting. I mean, I see in the coming, say, 5-10 years, interviews being done fully on the metaverse. So you just come, you don't have to go in person to do interview or even over Zoom any longer. You could just come to, a virtual space and just have your interview and get recruited immediately right there and there.
Yeah.
So we have to make them see those stabilities and help them see that this is the future and this is why they should get on it. The earlier for them, the better. So if you can make them see that, I think they would jump on the train.
Yeah, I think that something like, how all those DAOs are popping up everywhere, and DAOs have to hire people in projects, having a job fair for metaverse DAOs, or just DAOs, even if they're not metaverse, they're immersive worlds. That might be a good transition, and then inviting your wife or somebody that's in the industry to one of those events so they can see it in action. Because go ahead.
Exactly.
So we could kind of like teach them on virtual reality?
No. Just invite them to an experience that's in their alignment. So if your wife is in HR and she does a lot of hiring and stuff, something like if we were to host a DAO hiring event, right? Invite her to that kind of event because it's in her wheelhouse. She'll feel comfortable with the, things that are happening, but all the other stuff is new. So it's like, you bring them in on something they're comfortable with and expose them to new stuff along the way. Right. So she's used to those conferences, right? But then you bring in something additional. So,
right. And I think also, it's just a way to get away from Zoom too. That's attractive all by itself. It's it's more interactive. It's something different.
I'll tell you what slows our college down is security. Security is huge, and people are wary of digital spaces because they don't know how they're protected. That's a conversation too that's happening out there. I know in education, they're like, we can't have people just download something to their computer. I'm like, why not? You know what I mean? There's like a lot of security things that are in play with companies and institutions. I even had one of the alumni say, I would like to be a part of it, but I don't want to download anything to my computer. And I was like, well, that's an odd barrier.
I don't want to download anything to my computer.
They didn't want to download. You know how most platforms are web-based?
Right.
And Onyx requires you to download the app to your computer.
Right.
That was a barrier. They were like, and that's why I shared Frame. I was like, okay, let's try it this way. but yeah, I guess downloading the actual platform. And I never thought of that, to be honest.
Were they older?
I guess yes. So in a new digital space, there's a lot of spam, scams, all this, everybody's terrified. And when you say download this to your computer so that we can get started, they get very concerned.
Then I also think that we have to, on the long run, think of inclusion, because if we are thinking of having everyone on board the metaverse, we have to think of, eventually having a software that would also be used on the phone, because one, not everybody has access to a personal computer, and not everybody also can probably, let me use the word, afford a personal computer that can run the software. So, we should start thinking of how on the long run we have to think of inclusion for those categories of people, because we can have people like that who are very, very interested in joining the space, but then just because of that, they're not able to join in as well.
That is definitely true. And that's in the metaverse as a whole. I think I mentioned with Ali getting into Decentraland and Somnium with an Apple. She, bought a very expensive artist Apple laptop or setup or something, and it does not allow her access into the metaverse. And then over the planet, most people have smartphone access rather than computer access. So
yes, exactly.
What about Frame though? Could we incorporate Frame, or is that just a whole nother product?
Yeah, I think we could actually do that. I know you could use Frame on your phone. So if you can incorporate that for a start, for people that don't have access to a personal computer, that would be a good way to start, I believe.
Yeah, there you go. So host an Onyx event within Frame, mirroring the same, advertisements and everything that's around, so they see the logos and see all that stuff. And they never will transition over to Virbela, the physical campus then. If they just use Frame, it'll only be Frame activities.
Well, they could still, or they should still transition. Just something for them to have an experience of it first, and then they would actually see reasons in the long run for them to transition into Virbela.
Yeah. What do you think that a mobile event on something like Frame would be the most impactful? Do you think something with entertainment? Do you think something where people can create something of value? Is it just informative?
I think people like value. So I think also you mentioned NFTs. So I think that would be a very, very great one. I mean, everybody has been hearing about NFTs. People want to jump on the train. They don't know how. So if we can, bring that value to them, I believe they will want to jump on the train.
So maybe get anybody that has NFTs to set up like a museum or something people can walk through, and then help people set up a wallet.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Very good idea. Yeah.
Okay, and that's easy to set up.
Because you have people with NFTs that are not selling. Their NFTs are not selling at all. They're not budging.
Yeah,
Sure.
but they have to have a reason to sell, right? Isn't that the whole point? Is that they have to have a community that is looking to buy those things, and we don't have a real central marketplace?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because OpenSea can be overwhelming, and then most people right now are not buying for their community. A lot of people are looking for that, the FOMO and that I got to get early, buy it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The true values are the ones with the solid community. That would be kind of cool, huh? If we could just have people in and start making a community of maybe it's young artists that we support.
Yeah, I think we could work on that.
Yeah, I think I like that idea. Yeah, so we could build our own community of artists with NFTs and help push their art. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of opportunities, like you say, so much that we could do. We just got to do little bit by little bit. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens with our DAO meeting. Again, I think that if people are wanting to create some, they can create anything, including, if they wanted to do an event group that did nothing. Like in the metaverse, you legit can make a company that did nothing public events. What are those called? They're not party planners. What are they called that, host events for people? They put everything together. Party planners?
Event planners?
Event planners.
No, they call them event planners, yes.
So maybe we can find some event planning companies that already have all the structure to make an event successful, and we just invite them into the digital space instead of the physical space. Be like, hey,
great idea.
Try out your skills of event planning, but in a digital space.
A great one.
So maybe we find an event planner company to help host or, pull together the event. And then we get together with a lot of artists. If we're educators, I think that artists should be not seasoned artists. They should be up and coming, like you said, Aaron. Like people were trying to support those that are already big. But maybe somebody's already big, like, like Aaron, like your Marcus, like you said, that has already been successful in doing the NFTs. Somebody that could possibly come and say, give a inspiration to the young artist. I don't know. I'm just pitching ideas, Marcus, but I don't know how it works.
Marcus is on the campus. He did download, but he never responded to my last text, so I don't know.
Well, he's making all those NFTs things. His project was too, so I get it. But maybe he could highlight it when he's ready to launch or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking ideas. Yeah. What about in your space in Florida, Aaron? Are there a lot of artists doing NFTs now, or really pushing to get creations into the digital space, or?
No, I'm not seeing a whole lot of. I'm not seeing a whole lot of action, at least out here in my area, of artists really trying to do the NFT art thing. I'm not seeing a real big push in that direction at all. Um, Maybe they are. I just don't know where to look. But I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm not. Well, I have Discord, but I'm not really on it like that. But I don't see
Yeah.
I don't see any local artists from the area that are doing the NFT thing for the most part. And I'm dialed in. I'm locked into the art scene here for real. At least on the social media tip. But I'm not seeing a lot of action, at least for my area.
Well, then maybe that might be the bridge, right? Is all those people that have not gotten an NFT, are they interested? They already have art. Can we just show them how to make it into an NFT?
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
I think, what did we find? The Solano, or what did we figure out with CK? There was a much cheaper one
Solano
to mint. Yeah,
Solano.
and he was able to mint NFTs in a different way too.
Well,
So yeah,
I have an artist. She's older, but she's not established at all. Her niece is trying to get her to convert over to NFT. I had a conversation with her just last week, and we're supposed to connect. So, and I think she does have a slight following, and she does have a few artists that she networks with. So we could start there. It's worth starting there and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that it's just a matter of just getting the word out. Like Tita Lopez said, it's about like convincing them of the benefits of getting in this early. It's you have nothing to lose is what I always use, but that doesn't always seem to be enough for people.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm like, you have nothing to lose. There's a new space. Come play. And then they're like, yeah, but I don't want to play in something I don't know yet. And I'm like, okay. So what is it that always tops? Money and booze in real life, but I don't know in power.
Right.
But what gets people there? I think that NFT route, though, Aaron, like you said, is something that they could definitely get it on the market. And if anything, 5 years from now, they can say, I have my NFTs on the marketplace.
Yeah, very good one.
One of the speakers at our Every Realm Academy, he was saying the best thing that you could do right now that would help you in the future of this industry is have presence. That's it. Have presence.
So do you guys want to build a marketplace for NFT artists?
That's what I think that we should do. Our DAO meeting that we're doing, I assume that most of them are interested in something like that, simple NFTs. And art is very versatile. You could do, I want to make an NFT marketplace for educators.
Right.
But maybe the first step is art, because art is already complete in its form. And immersive experiences are taking a lot of time to, even get educators used to being in immersive spaces.
All right, I'm gonna put out a Twitter.
Yeah,
because I got a lot of artists on my that I follow on Twitter. I'm gonna put it out on Twitter, get them on the campus and see what happens. Let them know we're starting a NFT art marketplace. And see
there we go. And ask, I would say, is who we're looking for are people that have never made an NFT with their art, are people that have made NFTs with their art but haven't found a community yet getting it, on the market and have value. Yes. And then the other thing are anybody that can use the art. So I don't know if that's real estate metaverse people or if that is physical companies, that are around, but who could use the art? Who are the consumers of digital art right now?
Is that a question you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't know if business or corporations are buying NFT art. I don't know. Um, I think it's just becoming individual collectibles. From what I see, I
Okay.
haven't really seen a lot of businesses or corporations buying up art just yet. Not to say it's not happening, but I think it's just individuals just buying it just to collect or to resell.
Yeah. Or I'm wondering if advertisements, you know how like logos and things like that, like when you buy an NFT, you own the intellectual property to the level that the artist wants to share it, right? So maybe it's a matter of merchandising. So I know that there's a company that takes artist work and will print it on fabric and then can make all these different clothes with whatever art you want, right, on the clothing. But something like that where you can use the art, but what would you use it for? Some kind of merchandising. Maybe it's lifestyle, like that Queen A, Queen B kind of thing or something where, there's like lifestyle stuff and it can be merchandised. That might be a way of bringing in people that make products and they just need artists to help make products.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's throw it on the wall
All
and
right.
see.
I like the idea of just put it out into Twitter and see what the response is. And, somebody might bite and say, I love this, let's do it. And then from that, somebody catching fire, we can, light a bonfire. So,
all right, I'm gonna put it out tonight. See what happens.
So what? This is how we make it happen, right? And then as more and more people come, we'll just be like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Why don't we have a basketball team on Onyx? Dude, that basketball's hardcore though. I tried to get some baskets and I'm like, man, you need a whole new skill. You can't just be tall in this realm. All right. How's it going with the new media perspective as the OBS? Have you been playing around with it, Eric, using it for other things too, or?
Not really recently. I've been kind of wrapped up in some other bigger projects, but I haven't really played around with it yet. I mean, recently, other than I did play around with it to get some footage of the campus for that promo video that I made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, I haven't really messed around with it like that for real.
It's a whole new tool to play with.
Yeah. So, but I do have plans on to keep using it and to keep, seeing how far I can take it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna play around with that animes, so that you could be how you could be a cartoon character on your communications. I might try to play with that.
What's it called?
A little bit. See on TikTok. It's called Animes.
It's free?
Animes. Yep, it's free. And basically what it does is it does just like a Snapchat. You know how Snap or whatever has the filters?
Yeah.
But you can be anything and then you record your videos that way. And so I'm going to play with it and just see about, taking Zion to TikTok because my people are probably like 2060. I don't know, like graduating class of 2060.
Right.
But so I need to get in touch with people like real young. And I'm like, okay, we'll go to TikTok as a cartoon and see what happens,
Oh, that'd be, I like stuff like that.
Yeah. I'll record something and I'll send it to you, but it is easy. Who knows? We could have a mascot of Onyx can have a mascot.
That would be neat.
What animal do you think, or what creature would best represent Onyx? A dragon?
Okay. Or animes, okay.
Yeah, animes, it's real easy. You just open it up and like right now I'm talking, I'm a fox. My fox is moving its mouth and its head the same way that I am. Boo, boo, boo. You got to select your avatar first. So all these tools are coming on little bit by little bit. I wonder if they're all free at the beginning, and then once we get used to them and dependent on them, then we have to pay. You know,
man, I
it's
hope
like
not.
everything's beta.
Right, you're right about that. Everything.
Ooh, look, and then you can make them. There's like you can shop and buy avatar people have made for 399 tokens. So this is a avatar NFT kind of thing, I guess, or not really an NFT because you're just paying to use it. Cool.
That's nice.
Well, good. We get to keep playing. That's the thing, right? We come, we play, we build, we help other people across the bridge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun.
Yeah. So.
Oh, it uses Face Rig. That's cool. All right. Well, it was a pleasure spending this time with you guys. I go ahead and get my Sunday routine rolling, cleaning laundry, you know.
All right. I'm gonna finish waxing on and waxing off of my vehicles. So
yeah. It's
all right, guys.
The stuff that we can't get done yet by robotics. We have to still do.
Right. Always glad to play with you guys. Next Sunday?
Next Friday. But next Sunday we'll be here.
Say it again.
I'll see you guys next Friday. But
next Friday,
next Sunday we'll be here too.
Yes.
I'll be here on Saturday too.
Oh yes. Next Saturday.
I will not be here Saturday.
That DAO. Well, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna make a wallet. Aaron, you already have a wallet.
Yes.
We'll help everybody get on a wallet that shows up that day, and then we'll move forward with our DAO.
Got you. All right, I keep you guys posted about our NFT art marketplace.
Art walk or marketplace. I think that'd be bomb.
All right, keep you guys posted. All right.
See you guys.
All right, take care.